What's going on, everyone? My name is Bill. Welcome to the stream, KO Bets. On today's show, we're going to review Week 2 picks for the NFL season. I'll give my money line picks, spread picks, over-under picks, and if you have any fantasy-related questions, feel free to leave those in the chat. I'd be happy to give my 2 cents for what it's worth. Last week, if I switch screens here and we go to last week, we didn't do so hot, especially on the over-unders. Went 7 and 9. Spread went 9 and 7. Moneyline wins 10 and 6. So looking to improve on that. You can see the picks I made. They were in boldface here. And I had them sorted in order of confidence. So Minnesota, Green Bay, both let me down big time. Buffalo, obviously. Baltimore, that was rough. But the other ones played out okay. So this week, you can see in column K here, I'll go ahead and give that a highlight. I've assigned a number 1 through 16, 1 being the least confident, 16 being the most confident I am, and this is in relation to column J, not in relation to the spread pick or the over-under. This is just straight up who I think is going to win the game. So without further ado, we could definitely dive into this week's slate of games. I'd like to see if I could get a real nice view for us here. Let's switch to the browser page. There we go. Oh, so we'll go ahead and review the Thursday night game. I picked Washington. So Washington, let me find that one. They carried favorite odds at minus 170. New York was the underdog at plus 145. I thought the spread was 3.5 points for Washington. I thought Washington would cover that, and then we picked the over. So we got the money line pick correct, the spread pick wrong, and we got the over-under correct. So definitely got lucky on that one, though. I thought the Giants should have won the game. So now we'll move on to the weekend's games. We've got New England at the New York Jets. This was one of my less confident picks. I do like New England at minus 235 odds. Basically, we've got 2 rookie QBs in this game. I'm just not, let me adjust my ring light here a little bit. I'm just not super confident in either player's ability or team's ability to put up a lot of points in this game. The over-under is 43 points. I'm going to take the under. The spread is 6. I think New England can win by a touchdown. They established their running game really well week 1. Like I mentioned, we've got 2 rookie QBs, and I just kind of favor New England's defense a little bit more than the New York Jets. In the next matchup, we've got the Denver Broncos at the Jacksonville Jaguars. What a disappointing week from Jacksonville. I mean, obviously rookie QB, but definitely thought they were going to go in there and beat Houston. Didn't really love I don't love Houston at all going into the season. Tyrod Taylor, he might be like an 8-8 QB, but or now 8-9 QB. I don't really like Houston at all. Don't like their weapons. Don't like their defense. Don't like anything about them. And Jacksonville just kind of shit the bed. In my opinion. So we're going to fade Jacksonville this week. I am going with the Denver Broncos, minus 275 favorites on the money line. The spread is 6 points. This is again one of my lesser confident picks. We're in Jacksonville. There's always something about like teams going to Florida or to Los Angeles or to like weird, vacation destinations. We're gonna go under the 45.5 points. I don't think either team's gonna really have. Maybe one team punches it into the end zone 3 times. I just don't see it happening. Scoring coming few and far between in this matchup. I think Teddy Bridgewater is going to get the Denver Broncos to a 2-0 start. And I think their defense will just give Trevor Lawrence some issues. So we'll take Denver on the spread and the money line, and we'll go under on the over-under. In the next game, we've got the Buffalo Bills at Miami. This is an interesting one. Buffalo really didn't seem to really get their offense going too well, and I think Miami's got a very good defense. So I do think this is maybe going to be a low-scoring game. 47.5 points is the over-under. We're going to take the under. I do think Buffalo's better. But are they going to win by 3.5 points on the road in Miami? There's just something about like colder weather teams going to Miami, playing afternoon games, noon games. It's just, I think it wears you out. So I'll take Miami on the spread pick, 3.5 points. I think they lose by a field goal to Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this. They're the better team, like I said, but there's just something about playing in Miami. You see teams drop those games too often. So I give them a shot in this game, basically, Miami. In the next bout, we've got the 49ers at Philadelphia. San Francisco looked pretty good against Detroit. Detroit put up a lot of points, though. I just kind of perceive, I don't think Philadelphia has a really, I don't think Philadelphia has the same running back duo that the Lions presented between Swift and the old Green Bay running back Williams. I think they're pretty versatile backs, both 3-down backs. I mean, Miles Sanders is decent, but I kind of like San Fran in this. I just perceive him as having, the better offense, the better defense, better offense in terms of weapons. You could debate Hurts, Garoppolo all you want, but I think San Francisco's got better weapons. And I think they'll establish the run with Mitchell. It just seems like whoever's in San Fran's backfield, they're productive, so I'm not too worried about Raheem Mostert's injury. So we'll take San Francisco on the money line and the spread, which is 3 points. I think San Francisco wins by maybe closer to a touchdown. The over-under is 48.5 points. We'll go ahead and take the over just because both teams, I think, Philadelphia looked good against Atlanta. Atlanta's got a rough offensive situation, it seems like, this year. So I just think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. We'll see. I'm taking a lot of road bets this week, which I, don't love. And I'm doing it on the spreads too, but oh well. Then we've got the Rams at the Colts. I took the Rams, I believe. They're one of my top 6 most confident picks. Number 10, I have them assigned. The over-under is 48.5 points. I think this is going to be kind of a high-scoring game, so we're going to go over. The Rams, their offense looked kind of crazy. Indianapolis, I think, lost to Seattle week 1. I just think the Rams on paper just look way better than a lot of teams, and I think they should win this game. The spread's only 3.5 points. I think they could win by over a touchdown in this game. Maybe we'll give them a touchdown, but so do like 5.5 or whatever. I think that's more reasonable odds. They are on the road, but I like the Rams in this. Like them on the spread, like the over. Moving on to the next game. Raiders at the Steelers. Steelers obviously had a nice defensive showing against Buffalo last week. Like the Steelers in this one. Part of me wants to take the Rams because the spread's 6.5 points. Part of me wants to take not the Rams, the Las Vegas Raiders. I want to take them on the spread, but I think Pittsburgh can win by 7 or 9 or 10, something like that. So we're going to also suggest this is going to be a low-scoring game. Pittsburgh did a great job of limiting the Bills' offense. I think in order to win a lot of games this year, Pittsburgh does need to keep their opponents scoring as little points as possible. Because I think, once these games get into the 20s, I think Pittsburgh, they're going to lose a lot of games if they have to put up 28, 30 points. That's just what I think. In the next game, we've got the Bengals at the Bears. Bears fan here. I'm taking the Bears. Don't feel great about it. I think Cincinnati can win this. Our secondary's real bad. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Boyd. They've got some good wide receivers. Mixon had a great week last week, so it'll be interesting. The Bears have a decent defense, with the exception of the cornerback play, in my opinion. I think they'll do a good job of stifling the run, a better job than Minnesota did, but we'll see. I think Cincinnati can win this game, but it's at home in Chicago, so we're going Chicago. The spread's 2.5 points. We'll give it to Chicago. They can win by a field goal. The over-under's 45 points. We're going to go with the under. I think if Cincinnati wins this game, it'll probably go over, but we'll see. We'll see. I like the Bears. This is my least confident pick of the week, is the Bears. I think I only took one underdog, and that was... Oh, they're there. We haven't covered them yet. Dallas. In the next game, we've got the Houston Texans against the Cleveland Browns. Like the Browns in this game, they carry heavy favorites. They are 13-point favorites against Houston. I kind of like Cleveland to come out and win by a couple touchdowns this game. I mean, the spread's massive, but I think Cleveland is the better team, and I think they looked really, really good for a full half against Kansas City, maybe even like 3/4 of a game. They looked real competitive, but then they just ended up losing that one. Really like Cleveland. So, and I also like the over. It's over under 48 points. I think, Cleveland's going to definitely look to put this one away big time and have a good bounce back week. Also, I don't know how many times I've said this. I don't think Houston's good. In the next game, we've got the New Orleans Saints against the Carolina Panthers at Carolina. We're going to go with New Orleans in this game. Real nice showing against the Packers. Jameis Winston was really good. Really good in that offense. Kamara did his thing. I don't give Carolina much of a chance of winning this game. We're going to go with over 44 points. We're going to go with New Orleans on the money line pick and the spread of 3 points. Like New Orleans. Next game, we've got the Minnesota Vikings at Arizona Cardinals. I like the Cardinals a lot this year. They looked great in week 1. So we're going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. They looked good on both offense and defense. I think the defense was a little more surprising, but the offense looked real great. The spread's 4 points. We'll take them on the spread. Over-under's 50.5 points. We're going to go over. Think it'll be pretty high scoring. In the next game, we've got the Falcons at the Buccaneers. Love the Buccaneers. This is my most confident pick of the week. The spread's 12.5 points. We're going to go with Tampa, I guess, on the 12.5. I don't know if they'll cover. I think they will, but we'll see. I think their defense is so good. I think their offense is so good. I think the Falcons are going to have trouble scoring, and they're going to have trouble slowing them down. The over-under is 51.5 points. So I'm basically like banking on Atlanta to be able to put up like 17 points, maybe get into the 20s, and then for Tampa Bay to be comfortably in the 30s with their points. In the next game, we've got the Titans at the Seahawks. I like the Seahawks, although I'm not super confident on this game. 6.5 point spread. I think Tennessee's a better team than that. I think they have a bounce back week. This week against Seattle, I like the under in this, under 54 points. Like I said, I think Tennessee just has a better week this week. We're going to go with Tennessee on the spread and under 54 points, Seattle on the money line. Then we've got the Cowboys at the Chargers. I like Dallas all the way here. They're the only underdog I took. Dallas is 3-point underdog. So I'll take Dallas on the money line, Dallas on the spread. The over-under's 55 points. We're going to go over. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Both offenses are pretty good. Let's take the over. Then Sunday night's game is the Chiefs against the Ravens at the Ravens. We'll go with the Kansas City Chiefs. 3.5 point spread. I like them on the spread too. Over-under's 54.5. Let's go over. Kansas City. Love just betting the over. And the Ravens too. If their offense looks good, they'll have no problem putting up points, in my opinion, against Kansas City. And then in the last game, we've got Green Bay against Detroit. Detroit at Green Bay Monday night. I like Green Bay. Although the spread is 12 points, I kind of like Detroit on the spread. I think Detroit can put up some points, but I like Green Bay to bounce back this week, win the game. Maybe not by 12, like I said. Maybe by like 10 points. I like that. And we'll... I got some comments here. Do you think the Bears' defense was just that bad last week, or are the Rams that good on offense? I worry about the Bears' cornerback play. I think the Bears are in trouble there in the secondary. And then, is Winston for real this year? I had Fitzpatrick at QB and picked up Winston. I think Winston is for real this year. I think Sean Payton regardless if they win or lose, I think he's going to put them in a lot of positions to have good games, 3+ touchdown games. Kamara is a huge asset for him to just dump off the ball, and you can rack up points that way on the pass. I like Winston a lot. And to go back to the Bears question, I think the Rams are good on offense too. I don't know. I think the Bears we're in trouble in the secondary. But if we're facing run-heavy teams like Cincinnati, Mixon was a big part of what they did last week. I think we're going to do better at containing him. Winston. I think Winston then it's arguable, so for this week, I'm just looking at matchups. Like, I like only a few QBs more than him, like Mahomes. Uh, I mean, Brady. I think I like Winston more than like Aaron Rodgers this week, though. So I think he's a solid QB choice. And then the Titans to cover. Yeah, 6.5 points is a little disrespectful, I think, for Tennessee and the weapons they got. Last week in my fantasy football, I won. I've got Stafford as my QB, but I thought about picking up Winston just to have as a backup. I've got a trade. My first trade of the year. I'm trying to trade. Some reason I had like the 8th waiver and I got Eli Mitchell. And so I'm trying to trade someone Eli Mitchell and Corey Davis for Mark Andrews and Mike Evans. I don't know. I have a bunch of running backs, so I just figure I should get what I can for him. Yeah, so I've got a lot of Rams players this year. But tonight I've got a wedding to attend. I think tomorrow I'm going to play Black Sheep with some friends and probably watch the football games on like my phone out on the course, and then, who knows what time I'll get home. I'll probably catch the Sunday night game, and that's all really from the house. I appreciate everyone tuning in. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like the video. If you want, you can leave a comment. I'm going to be at a wedding tonight, and like I said, maybe golfing tomorrow, so I could try and answer any questions you got prior to golfing early in the morning. So just let me know what your fantasy questions are. On Monday, we'll do UFC review. There are UFC fights tonight, so I uploaded my picks last night for that. If you haven't watched, you can go back and take a look at that. It's a rough card, 14 bouts, a lot of fights, a lot of newcomers, a lot of good matchmaking where it's just like pick'ems. I do like Anthony Smith in the main event, though. I like him to beat Spann. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely keep my eyes on the box scores for the fights and maybe rewatch a couple tomorrow. But other than that, that's my weekend. So everyone have a good one. Stay safe. We got only probably in the Midwest here. We only got a couple more nice weeks.